I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A former local doctor is sentenced after admitting to inappropriately touching his patients, John Arking reports.
59-year-old Florence Fruhan pleaded no contest Friday to battery on a person 65 or older, a third-degree felony. He was sentenced to 24 months of probation and is required to have a mental health evaluation, no contact with any victims, and may never again work in any capacity in the medical field. The charges stem from past patients of Fruhan's reporting to law enforcement the doctor had touched them inappropriately during office visits and that the touching happened without the consent of the victim and without serving any legitimate medical purpose. Sheriff Rick Staley.
Well, I think we all would have preferred a heavier sentence. We do feel that this now ends his damage to females forever, and he can never hurt one again. So I congratulate the team for a great job and the state attorney's office for handling the prosecution.
Fruhan was arrested Wednesday following months-long investigations into numerous reports from patients and former patients of the former doctor. Additional allegations are still actively being investigated, and more charges could be filed in the future. The sheriff's office is asking that anyone who is a patient of Dr. Fruhan and feels they had an inappropriate experience with him to contact them and file a formal complaint. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
A Palm Coast man who failed to kill himself after an attempted double suicide is heading to prison. 54-year-old Bruce Houghton, formerly of the R section, and his then-girlfriend Catherine Goddard set out to kill themselves in 2017. The two had inhaled carbon monoxide in a vehicle when Goddard's daughter discovered them. It was too late for Goddard, but Houghton survived, though police say he tried to kill himself several times in the weeks that followed. His defense attorneys had tried to argue for time served given Houghton's history of mental illness and many suicide attempts. But a judge sentenced Houghton to 7 years behind bars after a jury convicted him of assisted suicide. The judge noted Houghton has never shown remorse for the death of Goddard, only apologizing that he, too, didn't die. A burnt boat is finally set to be removed from waters off Flagler Beach. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
It's been close to 2 months since fire crippled a trawler in the Intercoastal near the Moody boat launch, and some folks are surprised that the boat is still there. But towing a derelict vessel comes with lots of red tape. However, county officials see some light at the end of the tunnel. The Flagler Beach Fire Department, Flagler County Fire Rescue, and the Sheriff's Office Marine Unit responded to the fire on June the 20th. And the following day, Florida Fish and Wildlife contacted the boat's owner, Jenny Barrett Gunther of Titusville, and informed her that the boat was derelict. The owner was then given 21 days to remove it, but she said she didn't have insurance or the means to get it done. After that, responsibility for removal technically fell to the city of Flagler Beach, but the county agreed to handle it. The county sought estimates from contractors to perform that work. Flagler County is just waiting for the arrival of grant money to pay for that project, and once that approval is received, the county will schedule the removal. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
Who is Chris Peterson and what does he do in Flagler County?
Peterson works with the Sheriff's Department in a position that's been established for a while. He said it's not new to the department.
Several functions within the Sheriff's Office work for that section. Community outreach, this kind of stuff like threat assessments, assisting the schools with their security programs. Got the crime analysts, and we've got our problem area crime enforcement team, the PACE team, which you've probably heard of, and that all falls under the Homeland Security section.
Peterson said he's the one who's new to the department. He's been in Flagler County for a few months, replacing Randy Stroud, who had been Flagler County's Homeland Security Director. Peterson said he's retired now from the Naval Criminal Investigative Services after 28 years. You can hear the entire interview on the Free for All Friday podcast. You can find that at the Flagler Radio app. Download the Flagler Radio app today. Tomorrow, problem people. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.